We're not doing the intro yet. This is the pre-intro.
Oh, okay.
This is where we just talk about funny, goofy stuff.
Oh.
Do you have any funny, goofy things to say?
I do have a really bad Irish joke, but you have to promise not to laugh.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, what will soon be the biggest country in the world? Do you know?
No.
Ireland. And do you know why?
Why?
Because it's always Dublin. Great, you didn't laugh. Perfect.
Let's get started. Every business owner is being told that they need to use AI in their marketing. Get on the wagon or get left behind.
Yeah.
But most have no idea where to start, what's actually worth their time, or whether it will actually move the needle on more leads, more revenue. So, what does AI actually do for your marketing and your business? What are the traps most business owners fall into? And how do you know if it's actually working? I'm Josh, and this is my special guest, Eric. And on Marketing Fact, that's what we call it, we dive into real marketing questions, give expert answers, and share actionable insights we've found to supercharge your marketing, working with over 273 clients over the past 10 years. Eric, now is the intro for you. Tell the people who you are.
Hey guys, my name is Eric. I have been in the AI space for quite a few years. Used to work in classic machine learning stuff, but as soon as generative transformers came along, GPT tech and all that other stuff, jumped right in as soon as I saw what it could do for coding, and just really it's an extension of your own mind. So that really became my entry into it. And yeah, ever since then, I've really been focusing on getting excellent at architecting powerful AI systems, really chaining the individual AI ingredients together to create, just really powerful technology.
I love it.
That camera, because that one's your personal.
Cool.
This is his first time, Mark. Give him some
My
slack.
bad.
Give him some slack, dude. He's our Rogan Jamie.
No,
If you ever need him, hey, pull it up, Mark.
yeah, sure.
Pull it up, Mark. Okay, so I want to start with a sort of contextual business answer, right? I'm going to give you a certain business situation that someone might be in, and let's kind of work through that initially, and then we'll frame more questions off of that. So let's say I'm a business owner and I run a boutique fitness studio with a very small team. I'm currently running Facebook ads, I'm sending a monthly newsletter, and I'm trying to stay active on Instagram. But I'm managing all of this by myself on top of actually running the business. Where would AI make the biggest difference first? And how do I know what to hand off versus what needs my personal touch?
Totally. So, I mean,
It is.
Please hold.
dangling.
Please cut. I don't know if this is going to be cut for the final thing, or we're going to keep this in for some authenticity and
no, we're keeping this.
yeah, dude. Yeah, you have no say, Mark. He's the one actually doing the editing. Okay, want me to reframe the question, or
No, I can jump right in.
let's go. So again, how do I know what to hand off versus what needs my personal touch, and where would AI make the biggest difference?
Yeah, so as always, as a business leader, your intuition is going to be the thing that's going to lead you down the right path. And the truth is, if you're trying to scale right now, you probably don't have time to learn how do I, take this AI multiplier and multiply it against my Facebook ads, multiply it against, Instagram ads, multiply it against these different marketing channels. How do I even get better at thinking about using ChatGPT or Perplexity to just think about my marketing efforts more effectively? So there's just a lot of decisions that would have to go into, there's just a lot of mental work you would need to do in order to really get up to speed. And when the truth is, a lot of the time it just makes more sense to go with a partner that already has figured out the answers to all this stuff. And it's actually becoming, like, at an earlier and earlier level in your business growth, it's becoming more and more important. So if, what that might mean is, like, right now, if you only have $2,000 a month in marketing spend, that's probably going to be better to go to even already starting to work with a partner that can help you use AI to multiply, the results you're getting from Facebook ads. But there's, as always, coming back to your intuition. If you're at a very early stage, like, you're not really trusting what other agencies can give you in terms of AI marketing enhancements, you can just start by figuring out, okay, how can I use AI right now to do a much better marketing investigation? How do I get way more intel on all of my clients, all their pain points, where do they live, what are all the different channels they're in? So just starting to do that is probably the best way you can start using it immediately. Perplexity, AI, as well as asking these AI engines, what AI tools are best for me right now, are going to help me. But then the temptation here is to go down the rabbit hole of learning about the different bits and pieces, new AI. Oh, there's a cool AI, Instagram thing that figures out all your captions for you and all that stuff. And so you can start going down those rabbit holes, and they're all tempting, and many of them are good. The question is that the fastest route for you? And so in my mind, it does really make sense to go with a partner, such as Set Sail, that their whole thing is we only do this. So,
absolutely, absolutely. AI in an expert's hands will always be more poignant and powerful than AI in someone that doesn't know what they're doing from the start.
Of course, we trust ourselves to be the best at what we are the best at, right? And as a business leader, okay, I can do this amazing, better than anyone else. So it would be foolish or arrogant to assume that's not also true to someone who is doing that for marketing. So.
Mark, okay, never mind. Freya was crying there at the door. This is a good question. Let's say I'm a small business and I'm competing against bigger brands with bigger budgets.
Yeah.
Can AI actually level the playing field for me?
Yes, as long as you are intelligent. And by which I mean, how are you even beginning to think about leveraging AI? AI right now has absolutely created, it's just like the internet, where suddenly there's a lot more access to information. There's a lot more power in a lot more people's hands. So there is built into that a lot more democracy. But bigger players are also going to be throwing money at teams to do exactly that, to figure out, okay, how can we take advantage? How can you be as intelligent as you possibly can about AI? So it just comes down to what is your niche, and just, being really laser focused on, what is going to work really well for your niche, being as intelligent as you can, and using AI tools, especially, it's so basic, but literally just having conversations with ChatGPT. We're all doing this anyways, but the question is, can you do that even better? Can you be even more insightful, even more mentally still? Like a lot of this prompt business is really like, how present can you be and how relaxed can you be as you're crafting, different prompts to get the result you want. But yeah, absolutely. We're in an age right now where it is easier than ever to compete with the big guys. You can just be more clever, and you can, again, force these AI engines to say, okay, just imagine it was possible for me to go up against Microsoft for this new, I've got this, fintech product that is competing in the same market as them. Just imagine it's possible. How would I do that? And then it's literally just going to give you, some potential strategies. So, it's easy to use these tools, even at the strategic level, to think about how would you dance around the Goliath. So,
I've never heard someone say this before, but it stuck out to me in what you just said. A lot of this prompt business is being present and calm, still-minded while you're actually doing these prompts. Why is that important?
Because you're just not going to think as clearly if you've got fear or doubt, like running the show. Like we all know this. Like when you're in business at any job, like the more distracted you are by just negative whatever garbage going through your mind, that is going to come. You're not going to see as clearly, which means the prompts you write are not going to have the perfect, delicate, precise wording that is going to elicit the best possible answer from a chatbot. So we've all had the experience of, at least I have, of being incredibly frustrated at ChatGPT, swearing at it. Why did you give me that effing answer? That's not all what I wanted.
Jason curses at his ChatGPT all the time. And I'm like, I want you to know that when the AI bot uprising comes, they're coming for you first.
That's right.
And him. Me, I'm so polite. Every time I'm like, thank you so much. Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah, but invariably there's something about that where we're just not thinking effectively, and it's helpful to think about what all AI does is it's a bridge between your mind and the physical reality, just like the internet was. It's just that this bridge is a little bit closer to the origin of your own thoughts, right? You can just take your thoughts, dump it into like an app builder, and instantly you have like a functioning application that can go live the next day.
Insane.
So the question is, how well did you craft that original prompt? And the quality of that original prompt comes down to the quality of your thoughts themselves, which comes down to, how relaxed are you? How, confident are you?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of knowing that, you are going to succeed. So kind of all goes back to that, really.
It's funny that you say that, because I have noticed that whatever model I use, it takes on the tone of which that I have in this certain thing. Sometimes I'm overly optimistic, and I'll sit down with another team member, and they're like, "This sounds great, but have you challenged it? Have you tried to find the edge cases? Have you tried to find the downside?"
That's right.
Because I am naturally a very optimistic, open-minded individual. I see the best in everything.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that there was this one very lengthy marketing report and summary that we're doing for a client. And when I ran it through with another team member, like, this is brilliant in so many regards. Did you double check to see if this is too good to be true? And I was like, I never. And then quite honestly, when I just went back, same report, same chat window within Claude, and I was like, hey, can we just double check to make sure that this is not cuckoo? This is not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it went back and checked itself, it was like, actually, there's a couple areas here that maybe we got to ground a little bit more. We need to look a little bit more into. And it actually evolved the overall output that we were getting over to this client to make it better. And I think it was improved in so many different ways. Yeah. So it's funny to see open-minded, optimistic Josh created a very optimistic report.
Created garbage.
No, what is that garbage, dude?
I would. No, but
I see you're the pessimist with your chat.
No. I'm the same way, and so for me, definitely the big learning edge is like facing and continually being able to face like actual reality, like and that is a downside with a purely AI approach where there's no human in the loop to use their own intuition, their own sense, their own experience of like, actually, even though everyone's saying it can't be done, I see a way to do it, and these AI chatbots or AI agents, they can do a lot of really incredible things, and they can do a lot of thinking for us, but because their thoughts, because these tokens which are being produced are disconnected from human intuition, they're ultimately never going to be powerful on their own right. They have to always be kind of plugged back into the people who are going to be wielding them and using them. So one way around this, or a kind of compromise, is to imbue the AI agents or AI agent with human experience. And this is very powerful, especially for more specific use cases where you take human experience, for example, like 1,000 rows of training data or just 5 examples, and then you kind of force feed that into the AI agent and you say, okay, this is context you now know. Or you give it, like a training manual or whatever. And now that will influence how it speaks and how it thinks. But again, so that gets us closer to having a really kind of not just an intelligent output, but a wise output. Something that is actually ultimately going to be helpful for, achieving the success that we want. But that's still not exactly the same as being plugged into human intuition. So really the best system is AI and human together.
We're not replaced yet. Hear that, Mark? We still got jobs, dude. Thank God. Speaking of, touching on this topic, because it made me think of something when you were kind of
rambling,
giving that that previous answer. Marketing is just basically distilling messages into different formats to get in front of people, to inspire, poke at a pain, show them a new life, get them to take a call. It's messaging. Marketing is messaging. Sales is messaging, right? That's all we do here, all day, every day. Why is AI messaging so AI? Why can we look at an output and be like, That's AI.
Yeah.
Like, why is that so distinguishable, and why does it lack this human element that we crave so much?
Yeah, so of course what we're craving there is like true authenticity and like the human spirit, like, you know, imperfect and scarred and beautiful. And in AI we don't see that. We see something artificial. So we can get closer and closer, and we have, and we'll continually pursue closer and closer to as human authentic as we can. And when we imagine, like, you know, AIs that actually have emotions and think and are wild and sometimes act bratty or like do weird idiosyncratic things, in our minds that's kind of like, oh, is that where we will end up? But for now we have systems that we can get very close to replicating human speech patterns. So yeah, if you just look at a generic ChatGPT output, no, that is, you know, it's very easy to tell that that's written by an AI agent. You know, or when I'm scrolling on Instagram, you know, like 80% of the captions I'm seeing, I'm like, oh, okay, just a chatbot wrote that, whatever. But you can definitely kind of instill in how it speaks human speech patterns, which means imperfections, means weird emotions, means a specific personality. So these are things I've done, for example, here at SetSail, building our AI blogger to ensure that the blogger, you know, the output actually feels human, feels written by, sure, an intelligent human, but so breaking up different, like, how long are the sentences? Are they all kind of the same length? Because that's, you know, what AI output tends to do. So the point is, like, we're always going to get closer and closer at meeting that exact kind of human parallel. But to come back to what you're saying originally in terms of what is marketing, I would also offer marketing is resonance, right? Resonating at the particular frequency that, for example, the buyer is at. And that kind of activates it. So, for example, messaging that exactly resonates with what they're feeling, that's resonance, right? And if you design an AI prompt, or, you know, if you design an AI system or whatever in the right way, you can exactly, or, you know, you can get in that same bandwidth of frequency. So you can have real marketing success with just AI output, but you do need some kind of that human calibration. Yeah.
So again, it's triggering that pillow talk is what resonates with people, being empathetic of their situation. And technically, these AI bots can be empathetic. You just need to point it in the right direction. They
can be. I mean, you know, it's becoming very common for us to occasionally voice our own personal life issues to ChatGPT. And I remember at first when people are saying this, oh, how I mocked them. I'm like, oh, I would never do that. And I've done it so many times. And it just is helpful. It just is nice to occasionally be like, yeah, I have this, you know, thing that I can just, so there is an echo of humanity in, like, ChatGPT. Like, when you talk to ChatGPT, it doesn't feel totally cold and barren. It's like, yeah, there is a sense that there is some kind of helping.
There is a sense of humanity within it because
it was trained
everything
on
that
humanity.
it is trained on is human context.
Exactly. So while it's not human, there's enough similarity there that it is ultimately useful for a lot of our purposes. Yeah, and it's only going to continue to get better.
Okay. So let's talk about today, because we're actually going to continue this conversation another time to talk about the future of where you believe AI is going.
Yeah.
From in the business world, technology in itself, and then also how it's going to transform marketing, given that we're the MFAC mark. Where do you think AI is used best today? And how do you feel like there's still a gap between how most people are thinking about AI, as in, oh yeah, I use AI, but they're just sitting in the ChatGPT chat window, versus the best case of AI, of how we maximize it today?
This will sound incredibly cringy and tech bro-y.
I can't wait.
And I'll even hate myself as I say it.
I can't wait for you to listen back to it and hear you say it again.
But proper use of AI right now is a lifestyle.
Crazy.
By which I mean to continually stay as maximally empowered in your professional and personal life as possible. That means you need to continually be learning, and you alone basically are not going to be able to learn fast enough. You need to basically have ideally, weekly or twice weekly conversations with people, competitors or industry peers, or literally just smart people who you think are really curious about AI and do lots of cool stuff with it. You just need to learn what tools they're doing, how their workflow is, because we're so far beyond just here's ChatGPT 3.5, or you can talk to it and do stuff. Now, and we're many layers of abstraction up, right? So there's Claude agents, there's AI systems, there's these different AI. I have an AI tool for managing like my calendar and for doing project management and for interfacing with all the different process management and team software and Slack and all that stuff. And then on top of that is, okay, how do I interact with all of that at once? And it just keeps the layers of abstraction, that is to say, layers of power, your power over technology in your life and systems in your life continues to grow. And it really becomes important to assume every single week there are like at least 100 things you could be doing better, to always have that assumption, because people across the world are using this crazy technology to build it even better. And so having that assumption and then just meeting with people regularly and saying, what are you doing? Like, how are you using it? Like, let's assume I know nothing, teach me everything. That has always been my approach. Like, my job title literally has AI in it. And I always, whenever I'm talking to anyone about how they use AI, I always assume I don't know anything. And this person has learned how to use AI for their life. So there's so much to learn there. So yeah, we should just continually be learning.
So that's what I was going to say. What I learned from that, what I hear from that is the best place for a human in the AI world, in the revolution we're going through, is to continuously maintain the idea that you are still a learning machine. Don't fully shut off your brain and say, AI will take care of all my troubles. Still learn and adapt. And because this thing, we'll never learn every AI model is going to learn faster than any human brain ever will from now going forward. We will never learn as fast and as rapidly as these models as their current state, let alone where they're going to be in 6 months. But if we continue to learn in the creative side of how this tool can be used for us, right? How we can think creatively to point AI in a certain direction to solve our creative problems. That's how we stay relevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's true to say that AI models have more knowledge in them, literally just these fact databases, than we ever will. And it just makes more sense to talk to them. If I talk to ChatGPT, hey, how do I get this stain off my shoe? Yeah, of course, these models are going to be so much more knowledgeable than us. But I think there's different kinds of learning. And right now, what we're all really trying to learn is how do I use AI in my life and continue to stay up to date? And there's where, looping back to mindset, it's really important to also, yes, to always have an open mind and be leaning in and learning, hence it's a lifestyle, but to also be really relaxed, because it's like the threat is like, oh, what if my competitors get ahead of me and I don't learn fast enough, and then this industry collapses, and it's so chill. Like, we're all in this wave together, like the wave is lifting us all up. As long as you continually stay learning and stay curious, you're always going to be valuable and have like a valuable skill set and be able to meaningfully contribute and stay connected to what's happening.
I heard Jensen Wong say, I'm assuming it was recent, but this could have been forever ago. When people think intelligence, the pinnacle of human intelligence when it comes to career, we used to always think was programming. And that's the first thing that AI solved for. It's the first thing, right? We thought it was coming after the blue-collar jobs. Who was out of job first? Programmers.
Dude, blue-collar jobs are the last.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
Let Musk come out with a couple
Even
optimist
never.
bots.
Yeah, but then the supply chain behind that, never going to happen.
So he said, if we try to maintain that we are more intelligent than AI, we're probably thinking about it incorrectly. He has now adapted, he believes, let's say, that the better frame of intelligence for humans in today's age is not how smart am I, but our ability to infer the unsaid and to peek around corners. Because that is the magic of the human brain and creativity that AI is nowhere near replicating as of yet.
Sure. I mean, I think that's I think that's true. I think that connects back to intuition. And I'd say the ultimate mark of intelligence is how present you are, because you can use your mind so much more powerfully if you're more present in it. But if you're asleep and just, really in your mind, really distracted and all these different things, like you're, how are you, you're not even really alive, which again comes back to how effectively are you going to use AI tools or, interact with AI systems, or you're not, because you're not being truly intelligent, so yeah, I think the better, let AI systems be absolutely have, IQs of 300 million, let them have that. That does not need to negatively impact anyone. We don't need to be in competition for AI's intelligence. That's, at the end of the day, the question is, who is in control of what systems, and, and that's more of a political issue than anything, as it always has been. It's not so much AI is going to take over anything. It's more, humans taking over other humans, like usual.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish off with one final question. What's the biggest misconception you see typical business owners have when it comes to AI in their marketing, in their business, that's holding them back?
I have learned enough, or I am learning enough about AI. There's some basic kind of hands up. That's enough. Trust me, I got that.
I already know.
I already know. Now, I'm not saying this is always going to be the case. Like in 10 years, maybe it'll have been so totally integrated into, just like the internet, or, it's not like we're like, oh my God, I'm not using the internet enough. We can kind of be like, hey, I think I'm okay. But
I've had enough internet.
But right now, because AI tools themselves are evolving so quickly and so frequently, and how people use, literally AI workflows, how you interact with AI tools at all, those are two separate things, of course. Kind of the meta on those is continually evolving. Like the best AI tools out there changes every week, and the best way to interact with them changes every week as well. So right now, the best thing to do is just continually not just have an open mind for when AI stuff comes across, but actually go out of your way to pursue it, to ask questions, to meet up with people who do know more. Because those are right now I see the most powerful people are the people who truly understand how AI systems work, because they can go into any business and they can be wizards, and they can literally take over, businesses. And so that's the big roadblock.
It is our own incompetence that holds us back. That's it for today, folks. Eric, thank you for joining. We will be doing another one again soon. Every episode we put out is built on real, hard-won lessons from the trenches, helping our clients grow, win, and connect with the people they're here to serve. If you found this valuable, subscribe on your favorite platform, and check us out at www.setsail.ca to learn about how we can help your business grow. Do we have the little card thing? Do we have the little? You wanna sign it off? We got it.